Make sure to subscribe to A Pillow on YouTube. Very cool content creator.
Everyone, Amy Schumer. So, a lot of you are gonna remember who Amy Schumer is. The washed up, kinda never really considered funny comedian. And she's been, these past couple of weeks, since October 7th, she has been railing against what's going on in the Middle East, which, fair. But the way is, the thing is, the way she's railing against these current events is she is just seemingly fully against Palestinian independence, Palestinian liberation, calling people in Palestine, just horrible things, sharing horrible comics, and recently she got called out for it. So let's give some backstory to this. So Amy Schumer slammed for anti-Palestine posts. So we see here, this is a spiel. I'm gonna get to this part up here later. But she's been posting some things. So last week, Schumer posted unsubstantiated claims about Hamas attacks, including sharing an Instagram post from actress Sarah Foster that alleges that she is in possession of a video of Hamas ripping out a baby alive from its mother's stomach and then killing both. Okay? So, Hamas, bad organization. Hamas is a terrorist organization. It is important to remember that. However, in a now deleted Instagram post from October 24th, Schumer shared a comic meant to represent supporters of Palestine. Palestine is not Hamas. And Palestinians are not Hamas members. Not all Palestinians are Hamas members. A vast majority are not Hamas members. It's a little interesting, isn't it? Okay. So, in a now deleted Instagram post from October 24th, Schumer shared a comic meant to represent supporters of Palestine, with hyperbolic comments written on their signs, including Gazans blank Jewish girls only in self-defense, stab Jews for Allah, and proud of our blank martyrs. So this is from Amy Schumer. As you can see, it is an AI generated comic because apparently you can't even do one thing right. And yeah, you can see this here. Someone saying I heart Hamas in what looks like to be a sign shirt, and then throwing grenades at kids hiding in closets is not terrorism. Well, hey, if that's the case, then bombing refugee camps to kill one person and killing hundreds of others in the process is also not terrorism, Amy. Yeah, so just saying, oh, yeah. It, Basically, her entire pro-Israel shit has, of course, not been because Hamas is a terrible terrorist organization. It's pretty much just entirely been anti-Palestinian and conflating people in Palestine, the innocent civilians of Palestine, which are a vast majority of those citizens. Remember, Hamas is a tiny organization comparative to the population of Gaza, and a vast majority of the people who live in Gaza have quite literally no say about the fact that Hamas is technically in power there. The median age in the Gaza Strip is 18. The last election in Gaza happened in 2006, and I can tell you, as someone who is 18 years old currently, in 2006, I was 1 years old. 1 years old. The median age in Gaza is 18. A vast majority of the people there are under the age of 18. They quite literally have no say in whether or not Hamas is in power. That is not their fault. But yeah, so Amy's been just completely horrible. Yeah. on this entire topic, conflating people who are supporting Palestinian liberation with people who are supporting Hamas. It's been disgusting. And very recently, which many of you probably saw this, uh, is Amy Schumer shared a little video of Martin Luther King Jr. And as you can see, got absolutely ratioed. And she cut off the replies. So this is a video of Martin Luther King Jr. And let's watch this.
Israel must exist and has a right to exist and is one of the great outposts of democracy in the world. My Jewish brothers and sisters said to me amid anti-Semitism anywhere, we don't need your support. We have enough Jewish power to deal with this problem ourselves. I would still take a stand against anti-Semitism because it's wrong, it's unjust, and it's evil. If my Catholic brothers and sisters said to me, amid bigotry toward Catholics, we don't need your support in this because we have enough Catholic power to deal with it, I would still take a stand against bigotry toward Catholics because it is wrong, it is evil, and it is unjust.
Of course, Martin Luther King Jr., great speaker, great advocate for everyone's rights. But Amy is trying to pass this off. Notice these two clips that were clipped together. She's trying to pass this off as one, essentially saying that Dr. King would have supported the current actions of Israel, which we're gonna get into. And also, once again, conflating the state of Israel with all Jewish people by her connecting those two clips, which is patently false. You notice in the first clip, actually, Dr. King, I don't believe, says
Israel
anything about Jewish people when talking about Israel.
Right to exist, and is one of the
he's
great
mostly just saying
democracy.
that it has a right to exist and it's a great outpost of democracy, which is what he said. And in the modern day, that isn't so true. Israel's democracy is broken. Like it is hot doo-doo water. It is in literal garbage fire.
My Jewish brothers and
But he never said anything about Jewish people here. He was just talking about Israel as a country. And then of course you have this clip where he is speaking out against anti-Semitism when he's speaking out against religious bigotry. Which is a good clip. It is a good clip. Anti-Semitism is bad. But Amy Schumer is conflating these two. She's conflating the state of Israel with all Jewish people, which in of itself is anti-Semitic. All Jewish people do not support the state of Israel. The state of Israel does not represent all Jewish people. By her smushing these two clips together, she is doing a conflation that in of itself is anti-Semitic, and has caused a rise in anti-Semitic hate crimes, because when people see the state of Israel committing horrible atrocities, such as bombing refugee camps, bombing civilian homes, etc., 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 cutting off water, cutting off electricity, cutting off access to the outside world, when people see the state of Israel doing this, a lot of people end up blaming it on Jewish people because the state of Israel, well, one, because they're anti-Semitic, they're pieces of shit because of that, but also two, the state of Israel makes that really easy by conflating itself and its actions as a government with all Jewish people. That is a bad thing. So we get a response to this. This is from B.A. King on Twitter. Bernice King. That is Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter, Bernice King. Thread, Amy. Certainly, my father was against anti-Semitism, as am I. And this is another thing I want to talk about before I get into this. Amy is using a man who was assassinated over 50 years ago to support the current state of politics. To support her current view on the current state of politics. She is extrapolating out on someone that she never met, never knew, doesn't really know other people who knew him. She's just using a video clip of him. Like, interpersonally, she doesn't know Martin Luther King Jr. She's essentially dirtily using him and his image to kind of cudgel people over the head. And someone who actually does know Martin Luther King Jr., did know him, and is definitely in knowledge of people who knew him on a very deep interpersonal level, his daughter, is saying this. He also believed that militarism, along with racism and poverty, to be among, he also believed militarism among racism and poverty to be among the interconnected triple evils. I am certain he would call Israel's bombing of Palestinians to cease, their hostages to be released, and for us to work for true peace, which includes justice. He said justice at its best is love correcting everything that stands against love. We have to... Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot speak. I just woke up. I'm very tired right now. We have much to correct. Here's a clip of my father talking about withdrawing from the Vietnam War and moral power.
Without harm to this country?
Well, there are two ways to deal with it. One is a unilateral withdrawal. I don't oppose that because I feel that this is a possibility. After all, France withdrew unilaterally from Algeria, withdrew without a military victory. Mm-hmm. And this did not lessen France's prestige or influence in the world. If anything, it increased its prestige in the world.
France is not the power that this country is.
Well, I think that's an even greater reason why we should restrain our power. There's always the danger that any nation will abuse its power. And I think our power must be much more than military power. We don't need to prove to the world or anybody our military power. I think we've got to prove our moral power now.
Do you feel that this nation...
So yeah, as you can see, Dr. King stating, sometimes it's just good for a nation to withdraw, to stop casualties. It doesn't really hurt their reputation. If anything, it helps their reputation by painting them as not being vicious warmongers. And she continues, I encourage you to read Where Do We Go From Here, Chaos or Community? I mourn with all who are mourning. I know that we can't afford to diminish and dehumanize each other if we are truly committed to ridding humanity of the triple evils, to freedom and oppression for all. Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Schumer just got cooked. Just got absolutely cooked. And I'm glad to see that this is happening. Because one thing that a lot of people try to do is dirtily use the legacy of people, in particular Martin Luther King Jr., you usually see this, but they will try to use his legacy to promote... Oh, I'm sorry, something was coming out of my earbud. They will dirtily try to use his legacy to promote horrible things, whether it be... Some people try to use his legacy to promote racism and not being race conscious about the issues that are facing modern day Americans and modern day people of color in America. Some people will use his legacy to try to argue against queer rights. Some people use his legacy, as we're seeing with Amy Schumer, to try to say that the state of Israel has the right to do what they are doing against Palestinians, innocent civilians, a majority of them being children, who are living in an open-air prison that has consistently been called out as I mean, what this is genocide. It has been called that by many people. There have been people who have worked for the United Nations who have left the United Nations because of its inability to condemn what Israel is doing against innocent civilians in the name of protecting their own civilians. This conflation of all Palestinians with Hamas is dangerous and it needs to stop. And I am glad that Bernice King called out Amy on using her father's legacy in order to support beliefs that he likely wouldn't support. Because if anyone knows anything about what Dr. King likely would have supported today, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt to his daughter, someone who personally knew him, even for a brief period of time, considering when he did pass away, and someone who most certainly knew a lot about. I had to lean over my mic to like see my keyboard because it's like weird. Um, but someone who knew him, even for a brief period of time, because he was assassinated when she was young, and moreover, someone who knew people who knew him and would have talked about him at length, and she learned his legacy directly through them. And it's likely that she was able to extrapolate, hey, this is probably what he would have believed. And he wouldn't believe what you're saying, Amy. And I mean, honestly, that's pretty much all I can say on this. I'm glad to see that this happened, and I'm glad to see that people are rightfully being called out now for misusing Dr. King's legacy. With that being said, if you like this video, you can like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. If you want to talk to me, debate me on this topic perhaps, you can join the link down below. As well as this, you can follow me on Twitter down below as well. You can email me if you'd like. That is down below in the description. Everything's pretty much down below. Comment if you want to comment. I might get some people criticizing me in this video, so you know, we're gonna set a code word. Code word is HD 1080p because I'm looking inside of an HD 1080p camera right now. And with that all being said, I love you all. Stay safe out there. Join the Discord so that you know whenever I go live. That link is down below as well. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. Gotta hit the stop recording button.